on the way to the altar wasn't the vision any of them wanted to project. She took several deep inhales to control her breathing as she approached the bakery, and then walked into the cheery shop with a serene smile plastered across her face. Mariella, the bakery's longtime owner, made eye contact from behind the counter and inclined her head toward one of the cafe tables. As if Mariella could have missed the woman chowing down on what looked to be a baker's dozen donuts, while wearing an elaborate wedding gown, complete with a bejeweled bodice and a ridiculously long train. She approached the table slowly, trying not to cringe as a dollop of strawberry jelly dribbled off the woman's chin to land smack dab in the middle of her lap. A white wedding dress and jelly did not mix well. "Hi," Mariella said as she slid into the chair across from the woman. "Suzette, right?" The bride's green eyes narrowed. "You're from the inn." "I'm Mariella. We met when we were planning the decorations. The tree branch centerpieces were my idea." "The centerpieces are beautiful," the bride, who'd remained dry-eyed up until this point, based on her impeccably done makeup, sniffed. "I love the little fairy lights wrapped around them. When James proposed, it was on the balcony of one of our favorite restaurants in Raleigh. They had the same sort of twinkle lights. It was supposed to remind us of how far we'd come. And now..." "You've made it as far as the bakery." Mariella reached across the table and plucked the half-eaten donut from the woman's manicured fingers. "There's still time for you to enjoy those fairy lights." The bride, Suzette, shook her head. "I can't go back." She looked miserable and heartbroken, which Mariella figured was better than angry and bitter. When she'd hurled the 3-carat engagement ring at her fiancé's cheating head, she'd been all fiery temper. The heartbreak had truly set in later, along with a healthy dose of humiliation. "Tell me why. I remember you and your fiancé." "Emma has been on a wedding roll, but the two of you stood out. Trust me, I've seen a lot of brides. I have a good sense for who's going to go the distance. I'd bet on the two of you." The woman gave a watery smile. "Me too," she agreed. "James is a great guy. I'm lucky. That's why I can't go through with it." "Maybe all the carbs are messing with your brain cells." Mariella picked up a napkin from the table and dabbed at the corner of Suzette's mouth, which was caked with powdered sugar. "I understand a bride who hits the dusty trail before the wedding because their husband-to-be is a jerk, not someone who's snagged a great guy." "I'm the jerk, and I don't deserve him. I don't deserve to be this happy." "What makes you think that, honey?" Mariella's phone buzzed, but she ignored it. Out of the corner of her eye, she could see Emma at the window of the bakery. The Wildflower Inn wasn't far from downtown. She gave an almost imperceptible shake of her head. There was something this bride needed to tell her. If Emma burst in now, Suzette might clam up again and take off before they could salvage her day. Once again, Mariella marveled at the fact that she was the one trying to save a wedding, as opposed to wrecking it. Suzette's mouth pinched into a thin line. "There's something he doesn't know about me. About my past. I saw the way that man looks at you. I can't imagine there's anything you could tell him that would make a difference." "I'm not who he thinks I am." Mariella had seen and heard a lot in her day, but she might be in over her head on this one. Then she thought about Emma, as well as Angie, who had given up the security of working in her family's Italian restaurant to manage catering for the inn. How much every event meant to each of them. She would not let down her friends. She'd let down too many people in her life already. "Are you a spy? Or a serial killer? Because I can see how that would be a deal-breaker for some people." "I'm adopted," Suzette whispered, as if she were sharing something way worse than body parts in the freezer. Mariella's heart gave a little thud, but she reminded herself that this was about the troubled bride and not her own regrettable past. "Is your biological father a serial killer?" she asked quietly. Suzette huffed out a humorless laugh.